Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020 Champions, episode number 11. Sorry, I almost said the wrong thing there. Alright, so this is part 2. Last episode we titled it 2, 3, 4, as in a 2-star, 3-star, and 4-star objective all in a back-to-back and overlapping scenario. The 2-star objective is this. It's the Tour de Normandy. We're on stage 6 of 7. We need to win a stage, and we keep coming close. We've had a top 5 on all but one stage. We've had multiple podiums, but no win as of yet. The 3-star objective, well, that one went swimmingly. It was brilliant. We ended up in 4th place, needed a top 10, so we ended up with a super success. And then on the same day that we have stage 7 of this race will be that 4-star objective, so the big one. As we're now into the final 25 kilometers, we're done climbing, other than the finish line looks to be slightly uphill. Breakaway still has a minute and 20 seconds. It's only 4 riders. They can be caught, but with 20k to go, that's a difficult ask. We actually just saw a huge split in the middle of the pack. This would be a great time to exploit that, and also a great time to get on with chasing down those 4 riders who over the last kilometer lost 4 seconds. Plenty of good race day conditions. I believe, let's see, Star Lord is the one who was 5th place overall, just 8 seconds down after a excellent prologue in the opening stage, so we'll get them to follow. Panther's a 67, 64, probably not going to be the leader. There's a 67, 65, that's a little bit better off. 65, 68. Let's put you in the middle. Let's put you ahead. What about Spider-Man? 67, 67. That is actually probably our best. And our 55s. Cyclops needs to go 99 from the get-go, where the rest of the team is going to try to tuck in behind you. When I want you coming to the front. Oh, come on, Cyclops. We're still doing the Cyclops 2 thing for now until we confirm that they are developing. We've got them into races. The original Cyclops was not. But this version, the hijacked version of a rider, is at least functioning so far. Alright, on to Wolverine. 14k to go. It's awfully early to be going this hard, but we're going to have to chase pretty hard. 48 seconds is the gap. So we pulled back another 20 seconds over the last 7k. The field did. We go to take over. How quickly will we bring them back now? 40 seconds is the gap. We have them in sight.
10 kilometers remaining.
Wolverine is done. Wolverine, go ahead and try to get onto the back. Cyclops is just done, so that's it for them. 9k to go, 30 seconds. We will catch them. Get Captain America ready. 8k to go. Start speeding up a little bit more. Alright, 99's the rest of the way. 6.7k, Captain America, 18-second gap. Still haven't quite pulled them back, but it's definitely... They're not even attacking each other, so it's not like somebody has energy left. 5k to go.
The little promenade is over. The group has been
Alright, we're taking over, and we are in front. Rare place to be. Star-Lord does not have a lot of energy. We might actually just have to sprint with Spider-Man. It's too late to change it. Star-Lord's done. Star-Lord is done, so Iron Man trying to lead us out. He's going to have to lead out Spider-Man, so he's going to sprint without red bar. Spider-Man, come on, go, go, go. Oh, nothing. Just way too slow. Look how much slower we are. All of these other riders, besides one who went too early, all of them beating us comfortably. It's actually our weakest finish, 7th place, and that came down to, I mean, looking at the energy, he's got 3% red bar left, so that's timed just about right. Star-Lord just could not hang in there. Star-Lord was not a protected rider earlier and was on a -3, but was our fastest rider. was hoping we could get something out of them if we changed the order a little bit, saving Iron Man for a proper lead out. We could have been in a somewhat better position. We're not going to out sprint anyone, which is why we haven't won a stage yet. But positioning makes a huge difference. And this time, we didn't have the advantage of positioning. And you could really see on an equal footing how much weaker we are compared to others. Alright, so we're setting out from Cholet, 193 kilometers, mostly flat, and we have brought, for us, the ultimate team. Why? It's the 4-star objective, and it's a 1 day, and we need to finish in the top 10. Far more doable than trying to win a stage. Also, as we had a triple set of objectives here, we very carefully planned and set up this as kind of our primary for this part of the season. And therefore, every single one of our riders at today's race is on a fitness peak with an expected +2 race day condition. So actually, looking at all this green, we actually drew below slightly, anyway. Only slightly, but we drew below where we could or should be. Right? If all of them should have a +2, then we're looking at -3, -2 now, -3 again, -2. So a -2 net. That's not a major negative or anything. I mean, that's pretty dang close to what it should have been. But the Deadpool alone draw really hurts. Now, we are definitely set up for a sprint finish. There is a little bit of climbing to do before the end. Set that 75. We'll figure out who to protect. Nebula is not a sprinter. Ant-Man is certainly much better off. Groot, well, much better off. Gamora, I think, is the fastest one on paper. So Deadpool. Let's see. Do we still want Ant-Man protected? 69, 66. That's a 69, 70. 68, 68. And 69, 72. So 68, 68 is not going to cut it. And let's see. What was that? 69, 70 versus a 69, 66. So we'll move up, and there you go. Compared to what we've been doing in that Normandy tour, this is clearly a small, very small step above what we have there. Doesn't mean we are going to suddenly compete for the win, but that top 5 that we've done on 4 out of 6 stages, top 3 that we've done on, I think, 3 out of the 6 stages, something like that, should be something we can repeat here. I think we could probably grab a top 5 doing that. We're looking at super success on a 4-star objective and setting ourselves up probably for near a 100% or at least 90+% valuation from the sponsor. And that coming off of last season where we barely came down to the final race where we had a success, and it was enough to go from almost losing the sponsor to just succeeding, and kind of comfortable with that last success. But you know, coming down to the last race is not comfortable at all, and it was quite nerve-wracking. But this season, much better shape, and it shows. It definitely shows, especially when we're kind of looking at the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of success. Nebula with the puncture. This is one of those key reasons why I like to keep my team at the front. Nebula punctured, gets it repaired, gets on her bike, starts pedaling, and she wasn't even out the back of the peloton. Alright, heading into the final 60 kilometers. We'll get water one final time, again with Deadpool. The only negative of the day. A little punchy through here, so hopefully we don't suffer too much. We also need to keep an eye on the effort, as a 75 might not be enough as we go through this undulation. You can see it is blinking red a little bit. We'll up to just a 78 for now. 42 kilometers to go. One rider is miles behind. Unfortunate for them that they got dropped and never could get back on, but pace is what it is. 30k to go. Starting to see a little bit of suffering in the legs. Not a lot yet. 25k to go. 14 riders, small gap. We're just about to reel them in. Now it's down to 5 and a very small gap, and that's it. 16k to go.
The pack can't get strung out too far, or it's going to start breaking up.
This
there are
is
reports of
it.
several riders in difficulty.
Here we go.
There are just 15 kilometers left.
Also, the peloton just split a moment ago. So, all right, back to it again. I know Groot, Gamora, Black Widow. And then it was, what, Ant-Man? And then the others don't matter. Other than that, I know Deadpool. For one thing, Deadpool's already at the front. That's good. Set a 91 initially. Gives us a chance to get up there. I think most of the team was on the other side of the road. And there's definitely more space out over here. Okay, Hulk coming up into position. Okay, we're going to start to accelerate a little bit. No. Stay. Good, Deadpool. Good. 46 riders. 10k. Push a little harder.
10 kilometers
over
remaining.
here. Do we have everybody in position? Black Widow, yes. Okay. Everybody has energy. Good. Hulk, get ready. It's almost your turn.
The sprinters are positioning themselves up front.
Okay,
It'll
Hulk
probably be
taking
a mass
over.
sprint finish.
Deadpool's about to start the fade. I'm liking that we have a small peloton at this point, and here's that little uphill swing. That makes it just a little bit harder, and some of those sprinters could have struggled through there, especially if they didn't have the proper support. So now, under 6k to go, everybody else is going to gel up, and we're suddenly in a very, very strong position heading towards the finish. We'll try to get onto the back. Nebula's nearly done here, coming up 4k to go. Little downhill section. On to Ant-Man. I was telling you to go. I don't know why they didn't go.
And
2k to go.
It's going to be very fast.
Groot. All right, we're looking at 4 riders in a very, very strong position as we head for the finish. Everybody sprint. Okay, timing's a little off here, but Gamora, Black Widow, come on. Top 5? Not quite. We're in this top 5. Easily top 10 though. Cockard takes the win. Simule, Barpier, Koish. That's a difficult top 4 to beat. We get 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. All over the place on that. Looks like we could have gone a slight amount earlier and pushed a little harder, but no way we're cracking that top 4. Maybe we're 1 position higher, maybe 2 positions higher, but you go much earlier. You go 50 meters, 100 meters earlier, and that might have been too much, and then we're fading at the end and going backwards anyway. So we got a top 10. That was the important bit. All right, so we're on stage 7, Tour de Normandy, and Star-Lord had a really good prologue and was 2nd or 3rd place in this race in the early stages. Now it's been all sprint stages since then, and the same handful of sprinters have taken all the top placings in every stage. So as we go into this final stage, Star-Lord has slipped to 6th place.
Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact
Now
that
as
there
we
is a
come
breakaway,
up,
given that the pack has
and
increased its
let's see,
speed.
back off.
The leader
We're
of the
going to
pack
try to
is
set
dwindling.
Star-Lord up for getting 1 second, so we can maybe jump back into 5th place. There we go. Black Panther, sit up. And Star-Lord, go get 1 second. Go get 1 second. We tried to get Star-Lord into the break, and it didn't work. We do go get 1 second. Please tell me it was worth a second. It was. Okay. Star-Lord's not fast enough to do anything otherwise, and actually right now has 23 seconds. We might. Are they gonna... No, they're chasing us down again. This is how it looked before. Going back off. You need to recover some energy. Anyway. First one to protect is Star-Lord. Hopefully the field sits up a bit now. With that 1 second, maybe we get back into the top 5. With the top 5, hopefully it can make up for the fact that we don't get the goal, which was to win a stage. Okay, Wolverine could definitely protect.
A courageous rider is looking to break away.
Spider-Man, we will definitely protect. Alright, there you go. And Star-Lord is recovering. 3 riders. Now a minute away. And we did enough there. We couldn't get into the break, but we at least went and got the 1 bonus second that was out there. We'll see if there's something for the end. Star-Lord's not quick enough to win a stage, so Star-Lord's not going to get into the podium top 3. So we're just trying to keep Star-Lord in the peloton at the finish, but take any time we can. So that's why we're going for these intermediates. We'll keep an eye on this late sprint point because it's fairly late. At that point, the group might be brought back in which case we can go for some sort of attack and take time again. At that point, nobody else seemed interested in the previous sprint point, so the sprinters seem to be focused on the stage and not the intermediate sprint, not the sprint jersey. That's really good for our odds because obviously we can't beat them head to head. I'm looking for seconds. Alright, 34k to go. Somebody needs to go get water like Cyclops. And it's a minute 38. I don't know if we can pull them back. I don't think we're going to pull them back in that kind of distance. So we'll focus now on the stage. Yeah, 4k to go. Just coming under a minute, but a little too far off to get after those 6 riders. 1 second. Might not be enough, and maybe it will be. But you can see there's some definite fatigue. Heavy tempo, but not that bad because we were getting by on a 73. 14.5k to go. Set ourselves up for the last sprint opportunity. Cyclops will not be involved. Star-Lord's getting that free toe. Definitely going last today. But not going to be seen as a sprinter, was it? 67. You know what, actually, let's go Black Panther first. That's fine that they both use their gel here initially. Black Panther just because of the positioning, and it doesn't necessarily matter which one of the two I'm going for. Alright, let's take it to this side. Most of our riders are over here.
Only 10 kilometers left.
Alright, inside 10k to go. Time to speed up. Those 5 riders are still just ahead of us. Come on, Black Panther. Had to go full 99 just to get out front. Suppose it's okay. We're at 7k to go, but
The little promenade is over. The group has been overhauled.
finally we catch them. $5k to go.
The finish line is getting close. The riders just
Let's see how much damage we do to ourselves just going 99. Which is, this team, this group, are a bit subpar. Oh, we're waiting till late. We're down to our last 2. Star-Lord doesn't really count. Okay, 1.8. Time to go.
The strong men are giving their all.
1k. Both of you sprinting. Spider-Man. Oh, ho, ho, podium. Second place.
Right on the
Couldn't beat
line. A
Cardi,
real
but
show of power.
it's a good result. Not a win, though. Not a win. Star-Lord gets 6th on the stage. We picked up that 1 second. It was not enough, though. We still end up in 6th place overall, GC-wise, also 11th. So we come up a bit short on a top 5 GC to make up for the fact that we don't win a stage. We come super close, multiple podiums, but no stage victories. That's okay. We do get our 4-star. You can see, at least on paper at the moment, we had hit 100%. We dropped back down, failing on the 2-star objective, but we're still in the happy zone. We're looking good. Now, there's a lot of races coming up that are not sponsor objectives. It's a while before we get into another set. You can see we have some 1-stars here. There's others just the following week. So it's not until late April before we get into anything else. So we're going to go ahead and proceed that month or so ahead. And then I think we're due for another check-in on kind of the team. Progress is slowing, so there's not as much to see. You can see we've got a lot of 70s now, a lot of upper 60s now, 67 and above for almost everybody. I mean, that's the vast majority of the team. Our 2 stage racers lagging behind a little bit. Star-Lord definitely lagging. Oh, somebody just leveled up. We had a 63. So I think it was Star-Lord. Star-Lord just hit 65. So Star-Lord has leveled up in the last probably 24 hours. So Star-Lord finally comes up a little bit. I believe Star-Lord is one of our 6s. I know one of our stage racers is a 6, but the other one I think is a 7 in terms of potential. So they shouldn't both be down here. But then, of course, the Cyclops experiment. The original one just completely stalled out, not progressing at all, not working. The secondary one, still a 55, but has only been with us for like 2 weeks. It takes a little bit longer than that to get that first wave of development. I have not been in the database to see if their training value is increasing and they're hitting that F value so that they can level up at 100 points. Only takes 100, so it shouldn't take that long. Take roughly maybe 6 weeks, and they're only about 2 to 3 weeks in since inception. So we've still got a little bit of time to see how we're doing on the Cyclops front. Once that's sorted and we see that it's working and functioning and all the components are working as planned, like the fitness training is not happening right now with this second Cyclops. So a little weird because I've done character introduction before, but I've never done it in the middle of a series. It's always been at the start. Seems to work just fine at the start. I mean, for one thing, we created a whole team and it all worked. But adding a rider in for future seasons so far, a little odd for us, a little difficult. We'll see if I get those kinks worked out. We'll just follow that method in future seasons, but so far still not going quite as planned. But once we do get that sorted, we'll get rid of this one and then proceed forward with just that one. Maybe actually next time I even just get in there, I'll get rid of him anyway because it's not working. 4 of the 5 major objectives of the year happened before that end of July window, and 3 of those 4 are already done, and all successes with 2 super successes means the Tour de Finistère is the only obstacle left really for us to probably have a super success type season. It still could easily drop on us. Look at the money difference that is. That's a huge money difference, and we're already making a ton of money. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I need to stop focusing on sponsor objectives. I'm used to that being such a major component of our season. These minor objectives, the Finistère is really the only one I need to kind of focus on going forward because we don't need to have a significant increase. I don't know. That's just the ego hitting right there of like, oh yeah, we gotta do this. We gotta make this happen. That's not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. We've got this in the bag. The next 3 are all very, very minor. Maybe we'll focus on those 2 and then just kind of pick out a couple other races. For the most part, this series isn't going to go on forever, and it's not going to be entirely like other series. I think I do need to up the tempo a bit here in this season so we can see some development. I mean, right now we've got riders that were not competitive and are now competitive, but not quite at a winning stage yet, at least not consistently. I mean, what do we have this season in terms of wins? Just the one. Okay. Wasn't sure. I remembered one, but I couldn't remember more than that, and apparently for good reason. We've had one win this season. Either way, though, massive difference. I mean, we're still a Continental team, but 29th in the rankings. We've already outscored last season by quite a bit. I mean, we had 60-something. We now have 327, and we've only done 3 months. And January is a light month on the calendar, so we've had 2 months and a couple races. So it's still very early days. There's a lot of season ahead of us, but a lot of races to just bypass because this isn't so much about seeing what we can do with these guys. It's more about what's going on in the database. And yes, obviously, and we've seen it, focusing on racing, but that doesn't mean we need to just jump into every race. I want to see them develop. I want to see what happens in the later levels. So I'm going to scoot forward a bit of time here. We are going to use some quick sims, and I'll see you back maybe mid-season, month, 2 months, sometime down the road, and see how we progress. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.